Radhe everyone. So I think I'm live, right? Just someone, whoever is watching this, just uh, write in the live chat, okay, that I'm live or not. Okay. Uh, well, let me just check the audio quality, and I will also share my. I'll also share my video on Discord till people join. I think I'm properly audible, right? Share my video on Discord. Okay, I'm properly audible. Okay, that's a great thing. So okay, so before starting the video, let me ask you guys, like, how many questions did you guys do? Okay, okay, you're really doing a great. Thanks, man. Thanks. Okay, so let's start with today's video. Okay, yeah, I know it. See, so let's. I have to look at Excalibur. The first question is twice subsequence. Okay. Uh, the problem statement is that, okay, I think we won't be able to see this if this is on. So what I'll do is I need to make it like this, right? Now I think it will be better. Okay. The problem statement is very simple. There is a sequence A is equal to A till N. Determine whether there are at least two subsequences of A that match the sequence B. Two subsequences are distinguished if they are taken from different positions, even if they coincide as sequences. Okay. Now, what is a subsequence? A subsequence of A is a sequence obtained by removing zero or more elements from A and leaving the remaining elements in their original order. Okay. So, uh, anyone who has attempted this question, any idea on how to do it? Okay. So basically, let's say if we are having two arrays A and B, now we have to find out whether there are two subsequences of A which is same as B, the whole array of B. So it may happen like this and this are equal, this and this are equal, this and this is equal, this and this is equal, and this and this is equal, right? Which means that there is a valid subsequence. Which means that it is basically like one to one mapping is there. Okay, for all B, there is a one to one mapping on A. Okay, that is what they basically tell us. But now the question is that you are not only going to stick to one mapping, you have to go for one to two mapping. Okay, which means that if any of the other sequence, so let's say this is a sequence. Okay, now by that we know that this and this are equal, this and this are equal, this and this are equal, and this are equal. Now it may happen that this and this are equal. So let's say it may happen that this and this are also equal, right? Now over here we can have two possible subsequences. This is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, or we could have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, right? So there are two possible cases. If this is a possible thing. Now it may happen that there are more than this. Okay, let's say there is also one like this. So this and this is equal, 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 and this is equal. So there is more than one, more than two. It may happen. So we have to find if there is more than one or not. If there is at least two or not. Something like that. Okay. Now how to find it is very simple. See, if it was given that we have to find if only one is there or not, it was very simple. It could have been more simpler. That is, just have a pointer, on A and check for all the elements. The first position where this is present. Okay. So let's say, obviously it is not always that it will start from the beginning. It may happen like this, that it is going to be like this, or let's say this and this are equal. Okay. Now the moment we are starting, okay, the pointer is going to point over here. So we are going to check if this and this are equal. Nope. Go for the next point. This and this are equal. Great. Now the pointer over here moves to over here, but the pointer that was pointing over here, I'll have a different color. The pointer that was pointing over here, that also moves to over here. Now they check this two. Yeah, this two are also equal. Now the pointer moves over here. The green pointer moves over here. Okay. Now again, this and this are equal, so the green pointer moves over here, and the red pointer moves over here. Now see, the thing is that this and this are not equal, but this and this are equal. So the red pointer stays as it is, but the green pointer moves. Now when again both of them are equal, the green pointer moves as well as the red pointer moves. Okay. And finally that we have traversed all the points of the red pointer. So we can directly say that, okay, we are satisfied with the answer. Okay. So we can directly say that, okay, we are satisfied with the answer. This is what we wanted initially. Now this is only possible if there is only one case. That is, we have to find only one subsequence. But it is strictly given that you have to find two subsequences. Now how to find that? Oops. Now how to find that? Right. So if you want to find two subsequences, what you can do is the same way that you did. So what you were doing, you were traversing from left to right. Now you can traverse from right to left and do the same thing. And now what you can do is, for every specific position, you can write down them. Okay, I'll use a different color. So see, for this, there was nothing matching, right? For this, the first element matched, right? For this, the second element matched. For this, the third element matched. And for this, only 3 elements has matched. 4 elements matches. 5 element matches. And 5 element matches. Okay. Now, if we were doing it from the reverse order, okay, this is 0, 1, 2, 3, 3, 4, 5, 5. Now, let's say if we were doing from the reverse order, which means that, let's say, uh, mm, this and this are also equal, and this and this are also equal. Right? It may happen like that. So, in that case, if we are doing it from the reverse, okay, just notice this. I'll just use blue. Okay. If you're doing it from the reverse, see, this is 5. Undoubtedly, this is 5. But whenever we come over here, so let's do one thing. Let's keep it as 6. Or rather, let's keep it as 5 only. Okay. So initially when we are doing it, so let's say this is 6. Because there is nothing matched over here. Right. The first point when this matches, I make it 5. Okay. Now again something else matches. So now I make it 4. Now again something else matches. I make it 3. Right? Now this doesn't match. Because the pointer is shifting. Okay. This doesn't match. So this remains 3. Now we come over here. Sorry, not over here. Now we check this. Now this matches. So it becomes 2. Now this matches. It becomes 1. And finally we have 0. Now till some extent you may feel that it is nothing that hi-fi, right? This is nothing that hi-fi. It's like very simple. It's the same thing that I did earlier. So this is not a proper example for you to understand what I'm trying to convey you. But till now, if the logic is not clear, whatever I did, first I traversed from left to right, and then I traversed from right to left, and I had the values out there. Okay, just a minute, just a minute. Okay, so where was I? Yeah. So from left to right and right to left, right? Now let's take some other example which will make it more clear for you. Okay. Let's say if you're having this exact thing, 4 2 1 2 1 2 1 2 1 1 2. Okay. Now this is where the thing gets interesting. Okay. Which means that the first array, it is going to be 1 2 1 2, right? And the second one is going to be it went too big. It is going to be like this: 1 2, right? And let's say now I can erase this out. Okay. Now let's say on top of this, I'm going to have one array for which I'm going to do it from left to right. Now see, which question? So we are still focusing on the first question. Okay, it's still the first question. So first of all, there is a match over here, so it becomes 1. There is another match over here, it becomes 2. Now there is nothing else left. So now it is 1 2 2 2, right? This is from left to right. Now let's say there is another array which is going to move from right to left. Now see, 2 and 2 matches, right? 2 and 2 matches, which makes this 2. Now 1 and 1 matches, which makes it 1. And then we don't have to match anything. So it becomes 1, 1. So 1 and 2, this is a subsequence 1 and 2. This is a subsequence 1 and 2. This is a subsequence 1 and 2. So there are total 3 subsequences of 1 and 2, right? So which is obviously a satisfiable condition. Now if you look at this, it is very much clear from here that at no possible position, it is happening such that the all the elements of both the arrays, that is this and this array, are same, right? Earlier we were having that. So just to like explicitly don't not consider that, implicitly not consider that, we are going to have this example test case. Okay. Now, can you feel something? Can you notice any pattern over here? A pattern from which you can say that there is two subsequences. Oh, that was easy. Go in forward order, then in reverse. If the sequence didn't exist in either of them, it's a no. If the sequence didn't exist, otherwise store the index of matches ahead, forward and going backward after that. And if even one of the index is different, it's yes. Yeah, even if one of the, no, it's not one of the, even if one of the index is different, it's a yes. It's, I don't think it should satisfy that. I think this is the condition. Uh, this should be the condition. Like whatever I was explaining you guys till now, that is taking the input of ARR of BR of I, having CRR, having DRR. So this is basically left to right, and this is basically right to left, right? Now we are having the value stored over here, j plus 1, j plus plus, and same thing in the reverse order we are doing it. Answer is initially no. At any position, if you find that CR of I is greater than dr of I plus 1, then it's a yes. Okay, CR of I is greater than equal to dr of I. C, sorry, CR of I is greater than equal to dr of I plus 1. Is this greater than equal to this? Yes. Is this greater than equal to this? No. Is this greater than equal to this? Yes. Right? Any doubt till now? So like this is a yes condition, right? Now let's say let's go for a no condition. Let's say I'm going to modify this only. I, I, okay? Let's modify this. Now what I will do is I'll make it 3 3. Okay? Now since it is 3 3, so for 1 and 2 it is okay. It is going to be 1 2, right? Okay, I use a different color basically. Red I was using, right? So 1 and 2 it is okay. Then from 3 it is the same as I did earlier. So from left to right it is the same. You can notice one thing. But when I go from right to left, because in this there is only one. Okay, earlier there were more than one, but in this there is only one. Now if I go for this, what happens? This 2 and 3 doesn't match only. It becomes 3. 2 and 3 doesn't match. It becomes 3. 2 and 2 matches. It becomes 2. This becomes 1. Now let's check. Is this is greater than equal to this? Nope. This is greater than equal to this? Nope. This is greater than equal to this? Nope. So for none of the conditions that was greater than equal to this, so we can say that it's a no. Okay? Why is it so? Because it's like, think about it like this matter. Okay? That is from here, let's say this is a sub array and this is a sub array. And you're adding them, or rather not like this. So let's say this is like this and this is like this. Okay. Now let's say there is an index which, when you sequentially went for this index from left to right, you found it at any place before this. Okay, before this. And when you went from right to left, you found this index after this. Which means that you can take any one of them. You can take either this or this, and that will be a valid thing, right? So that's it. Okay. So I hope this is clear with you guys. So should we move on to B? B. By the way, how many questions did you guys do? Okay. Sure. I think by different he meant greater than equal to that condition. Are there no people watching it right now? Because I think at coder, like not much people give the at coder concept. I think not much people are watching it. It's okay. So let's move on to the second question. Uniform sum. Okay. Okay. The editorial is there. Great. We'll look into the editorial. Can we have the editorial separately opened? Yeah. So there are two not subsequences. There are two sequences. A is equal to a1 till a of n and b is equal to b1 till b of n. You can perform the following three operations type of operation. That is, if a of I is equal to minus 1, you can replace it with any non-negative number. If b of I is equal to minus 1, replace it with any non-negative number. Rearrange the elements of sequence A in any order such that a1 plus b1 is equal to a2 plus b2 is equal to an plus bn. Okay. So what the question tells us, you're given you're given two arrays. Okay, you're given two arrays, and some of the elements in both the arrays, like obviously both the arrays are of same length. Okay, in case if I'm not making them of same length, just remember they have to be of same length. Okay, I think they are of same. So now you have to, like, you can convert the minus one in both of them with any number you feel like, and you can rearrange the whole array in any order you feel like, such that for all the pairs the sum is has to be equal. Okay, the sum has to be equal. Now let me, before getting into the editorial, let me tell you one of the concepts that struck my mind. Okay, obviously I won't get into the code of this because I think the editorial will be much easier for us to understand. Okay, see, the thing is that if you know that this plus this is equal to this plus this, which means that, let's say, if this is A and this is B and this is C and this is D. Okay, which means that A plus C is equal to B plus D, right? This is right, which also means that A minus B is equal to B minus C. It's a damn different thing, right? Now, if I know that the differences between this and this and this and this has to be same, so this is a kind of logic that we can come up with, is that we can sort them. Okay, what we can do is we can sort the array. First array we can sort it in ascending order. And remember one thing, when I'm sorting, I'm ignoring the minus ones. And the second array we can sort in descending order. Okay. Now the moment that we are done with sorting of the array, now we can do it like this, that AB, BC, are they equal? If they are equal, we are okay to go with it. But if they are not equal, that means there is a minus 1 that we have to utilize over here. Okay. So for the first condition, let's say A minus B and D minus C is equal. Okay. Which means we are okay with this position. That is, this and this position we are okay with. Okay. But if it is not so, if it is not equal, then we have to find out which is greater, B minus C or A minus B. Right? Or rather the opposite thing. It is, when I'm talking about A minus B, it means B minus A. Okay. So let me just write it like this. B minus A and C minus D. Okay. Because you know that it is descending. So I will try keeping it positive only. Okay. And this is ascending. So yeah. Now if both of them are equal, we know we can move on to the next part. But if both of them are not equal, then we have to think of something else. That is, if they're not equal, we have to think of letting them, to make them equal. Okay. So let's say this is greater. I'll use a different color. If this is greater, okay, which means that I have to put a number in between C and D. Okay, so I have to use a -1 and put a number in between them. But what if it's the opposite thing? What if this is greater? So in that case, I have to put a -1 and convert it to some other number and put it in between A and B. Okay, so this is a logic that we can come up with. So let's look at the editorial. This is the official editorial, I guess. Okay. Okay, let's try to understand what they're doing. Okay. Let A of x be the number of indices I for which A of I is equal to x, and B of x will the number of indices of I for which B of I is equal to x. Why would you do that? Okay, so let's try to understand why he's doing that. A1 plus B1 is equal to A2 plus B2 is equal to dot 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 is equal to An plus Bn is equal to Z. Okay. First, for a fixed integer Z, consider the necessary and sufficient condition for it to be possible to have this. Okay. Eventually, all elements of A and B must be non-negative. So we need Z is greater than or equal to maximum of this comma this. Okay. So we whatever the value of it is, so Z has to be greater than that because it is a positive number. From here on, assume that this requirement is satisfied. We may assume that among the three operations, the rearrangement of A is performed first. Once A has been rearranged, the necessary and sufficient condition for it to be possible to replace any -1 in A or B with suitable non-negative integer so that A1 plus B1 this holds. Okay. So for each I, if A of I not equal to -1 and B of I not equal to -1, then A of I plus B of I is equal to Z. Okay. So he is trying to tell you that he has rearranged them and he is finding the Z. Let f of z be the maximum possible number of positions I such that this and this and A of I plus B of I is equal to Z after rearranging A. If the total number of -1 in A and B combined is at least n minus f of z, then and only then we can rearrange A in such a way that the above condition is satisfied. Okay, so he has come up with some other logic basically. I'll tell you what he has come up with. Sorry, I was reading in A, mine work 2 to subsequent distinguish if they are taken from different positions, even if they coincide. Okay, it may happen. It may happen. I'm not sure much about it. Okay. The solution is that the at most n distinct non-negative integers x for which A of x is greater than 1, and at most n non-negative integers for y for which B of y is greater than or equal to 1. By enumerating all such pairs x, y, you can find all z for this using a map of similar data structure. The whole complexity will be bigger. See, I don't think this is a valid editorial. I feel that I think that this is a kind of condition. What they are doing is I'm telling you what they are doing. They are telling that for the -1s. Okay. So what they are doing is for all the -1s, they are putting the -1s aside. Okay. Even for the next array, they are putting all the -1s aside. Let's say these are the -1. They are putting them aside, and for the remaining part of the array, they're going to do the checking. That is, they're going to have a z and check like how many possible indices can be there, so that x of I plus y of I is equal to z. Okay, and then they're doing that they're subtracting from n this and this and checking if that number, okay, if that number is equal to like if that number is satisfying, then it's a good thing. So basically it's nothing else but like whatever they are -1, okay, a -1 can be paired with any number what they are telling us. A minus 1 can be paired with any number of your choice. Okay. So they are telling that if there are 4 minus 1 over here, you don't have to think of you don't have to think of 4 numbers over here. And if there are 4 minus 1 over here, so you don't have to think of 4 numbers over here. From the remaining numbers, try to match them. Okay, from the remaining numbers, try to match them. And if you can match them, it's well and good enough, you're done with it. Okay, this is what they're doing. But I don't think that is a good approach. I think that will take you more time basically. So I think you can go for this approach. Okay, that is sorted in ascending, then descending, and then check for all of the consequent and check for whichever condition holds. And if you can do it, you will do able to do it. Okay. See, now you may tell me that do you have the code for this or not? See, I don't have the code for this. Okay, I'll tell you why. How do I find my submissions? Yeah, my submissions. See, this is what happened. Okay, if you look into the details of this submission that I did, it was similar to what I have done. It was like 42 accepted and 21 not accepted. Okay, now obviously I won't be able to tell you why, because I think that I have messed up some of the logic over here. Okay, any one of the logic has been messed up. I'm not sure about it. Okay, so that's the reason I won't be showing you the code. Okay, so please do excuse me for that. Well, I was planning to go till only B, and I don't think that C has an editorial. Okay, C has an editorial, but I think it will be too much complicated for me to explain this because I haven't gone through the whole question of this. Okay, so let's ignore C, D, and E, and I know that you know what, like ATCODER Division 2 is also quite hard. What I felt today. Maybe it may be because like I haven't been doing CP for a long time, or maybe because it is really hard. Okay, you never know. So let's have the ratings of the problems. E was like, see, I won't rate A as an easy problem. B editorial. You want me to explain the B editorial? Uh, See, if you want to find out, let me do one thing. I See, if you want to find out like how many pairs are there for A and B such that they add up to Z. Okay. So what you can do is, what over here he has done is, f of z is equal to summation from x is equal to 0 to z, minimum of a of x comma b of z minus x. Okay, because if you add x and z minus x, it becomes z, and the range of x will vary from x equal to 0 to x equal to z, right? Because you know that all of them are non-negative, so you don't have to worry about other numbers. So whichever is the minimum. Now what do I mean by a of x? Any idea? It means that how many elements are there in A which is equal to x, and how many elements are there in B which is equal to z minus x. So let's say if there are elements, let's say the value of so let's say there are 3 elements in A which is x. Okay, and there are 2 elements in B which is z minus x. Which means that which one is minimum? It is 2, right? 2 is the minimum amount, which means that I can form 2 pairs. This is one and this is one. Okay, this is what the formula means. Now for all the possible values of x, if I'm finding them out, so from that I can find out that what should be the best value of z, okay, which is going to yield the, what should the value of z such that we yield the best number, that is the minimum of them, the minimum of these two, that is minimum of 3 and 2. Over here in this case it was 3 and 2. So we are going to play with the value of x and check which is going to give us the best solution. Okay, and whichever gives us the best solution, we know that that number of elements can be paired with that number of elements from A. Okay, so from here we know that two elements from A and two elements from B can be paired, so we can cancel them out. Okay, we can cancel them out. Now that this is cancelled out, now comes the, now that it is cancelled out, so how many elements are remaining? Like obviously you know how many elements are remaining, okay, but our main motive is not to know how many elements are remaining. Our motive is to know how many elements are remaining which are not equal to -1, because we have to handle them. Now remember one thing, any number can be handled with -1, that is any number can be paired with -1. Why? Because this -1 can take the value of any specific number you feel like, right? So if I want to make this a plus -1 is equal to z, so in this -1 I can put the value of z minus a. In this -1 I can put the value of z minus b. Okay, so we are mainly focusing on the numbers which are not -1, because they can be paired with -1 no matter what. Similarly, it may happen that in the uh, second array there are some elements which are non-negative, but in the first array there are some -1, so we can pair them. So basically it is a valid condition if after you're first of all pairing using this formula. Okay, so just try to understand, I'll just sequentially tell you what we are doing. Okay, first of all we were pairing these elements, pairing these elements using this formula. Okay, pairing some elements. Now the elements that we have already paired, now we are going to remove those elements. Okay, making sense? But to be clear, what z and x? Z is the addition. Okay, okay, I'll tell you what z and x is. See, you know that this condition, you know, a1 plus b1 is equal to a2 plus b2 is equal to dot 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 equal to bn. So this is z, and x is a of I. Okay, and z minus x is b of I. Okay, now is it clear what is z of x? So basically, if you are using this formula now, if you're using this formula, you can find out like if z is the answer, if z is it, then how, yeah, if z is the answer, then if z is the sum of the two of the pairs, so you can find out how many pairs are there which are satisfying this condition, excluding the -1s. Okay, now there are some pairs which won't be satisfying them. So what is the best approach? Pair them with the -1. Okay, even after pairing with the -1, if some of the pairs are remaining which is not satisfying, which can't be paired with -1, then we can directly say that it's a no, we can't do it. But if we can do it, it's a yes. Now is it clear? I think it is clear now. Okay. See A, okay, so let's say this is easy, this is medium, and this is hard. So I think I'll rate the first problem not to be that easy, because this was not that easy, because you had to know about the patterns that is getting formed and everything else. So yeah, it will be a medium. B will be uh, at the lower level of hard. Okay. So B will be at the lower level of hard, and CD over here. Okay. CD over here. I don't know what these problems were about. I haven't done them. I haven't attempted them at all. But yeah, that's it. So is everything clear for you guys? This is a good question. I'll take it. Even the reverse order, and yeah, like obviously, man, they are doing it for. They are doing. They are trained for it. See, do you like CP or do it for money? Who is telling you that doing CP gives you money? First of all, tell me this. Who who is telling you this? It opens door for opportunity which pays you well. Everyone else did it in order. He was the only one who did it. He was called between him and the second one. Okay, okay. Yeah, I know this. The angry guy. He's a great man of sea. See, let me tell you one thing. Okay, if you're like, for me, it is not for money. Okay, for me, it is not for money. Like, money is not the primary goal. If I'm doing CP for money, money is not the primary goal. The primary goal is like because I like it. Okay, because I'll tell you the story because I think we have got time. We have got lot of time today. So the thing is that initially when I was in, I think I was in third year, in the mid of second year or third year. Okay, so that was the time I started doing CP. Now, how did I start doing CP? I'll tell you. Like I heard from people that doing DSA is going to be of great help because it is going to benefit you for the placements. Okay. Now, if you think that you want to do CP and not DSA, then that's a different thing. If you want to do DSA and not CP, that's a different thing. Now, I started doing code chef. Okay. Now, these days, you will find really very less people who start their journey with code chef. Usually, people start their journey with lead code. Let me do one thing. Let me just put this on full screen. I don't know how. Okay, my camera is not that good. Okay, but still, it's like most of the people what they do is like they start doing CP I mean they start doing DSA and then they slowly move on to CP. Okay, but you have to understand one thing that it depends upon what you want to do in your life. If your main goal is to do CP, okay, like if you find interest in it, then it's good. Then it's well and good enough. But I don't think that there are much good people in CP in India. Okay, and I don't find myself to be good in CP, to be honest, because I see there are so many people out there who is doing CP until some such a good extent that I'm nothing compared to them. Okay, so yeah, it opens door for opportunities which pays you well. It till some extent, yeah, this is true, but it is not true at all. Okay. Because I have seen people who are doing CP, but they're not doing anything. And like I was sitting jobless. I was sitting jobless for a long time. I was doing CP, and till some extent it was like I had the DSA skills also, which uh, I won't like. It's not a kind of thing that I'm better than them, but it's like I was doing DSA, but there were a lot of people who were not doing DSA, but they cracked interviews which were DSA based. Okay, so it's like money doesn't come like that. Okay, money doesn't come like that. It's like even if you're trying to crack interviews out there using CP and DSA, it works. But if you want to get till that interview level, then your resume must be very strong. You should have a lot of experience out there in the market. Because in India, like I don't know, I think you're in India only. So in India, I don't know about the value of CP yet. Maybe I may be wrong. I am not sure about it, but I haven't found it yet. But I do CP because I like it, and it's like I have been doing development a lot. Okay, I'll just show you recently what I have been doing. See, you see this IntelliJ? Okay. Now it is a very simple thing that if you're a coder, if you're doing CP, so this shouldn't be the last thing opened, right? It should be VS Code or some other IDEs. But this is a completely Java-based IDE. So yeah, development stuff. Fang resume shortlisting used to be on CP performance, not now though, since GPT and all came into picture. Exactly, like after GPT came into picture, I think we all went through the lows. It was like when I was doing CP and I was doing DSA, I used to see people out there in the market. Okay, I'll again put the screen at full screen. So what I used to see is that people were getting a lot of short listings. Okay, people were getting a lot of short listings who were doing great CP, who were not having that great projects. But now it is like I don't get it. Like on what basis they are doing it? It's also kind of luck. Like I have got like it's not at least actually it's not luck. It's like the amount of hard work you're doing that is also going to matter. But at the end of the day, it's experience do matter. Okay, experience do matter. Now the fact is that I have got friends who are in the Mang, okay, yeah, Fang or Mang, Meta, Facebook. So till some extent it matters, but these days it doesn't matter that much. I feel okay. So yeah, that's it. How to get out of a low paying job in today's date? There is a lot of supply of coders in the market and demand is not that high. People are willing to work at lower wages for the same skill set. This is true till some extent, not till all extent. I'll tell you that because it depends upon your mentality. Like, what do you consider to be a low paying job? Okay, if you think that you're not getting 20 LP and that is a low paying job, it's a different thing. And if you're thinking that, yeah, I'm happy with 5 LPA, I'm happy with like five LPA is not a bad thing if I'm talking about base, I think. Okay. So it's like whatever you're prioritizing over yourself. Okay. It's all about prioritizing yourself, and I can tell you one thing for sure that if you are working on your skill set, then you have the capability to crack many interviews. Okay, because what I was doing is like I was going through some of the core. I'll tell you this. Okay, I was going through some of the core Java concepts recently because I am finding interest in Java recently a lot, and the moment I saw like the people who were cracking Java interviews, the experience that they were sharing, it is not that high-fi. Like it's not like to get into a good company with a good salary. The interview is like very high-fi. Okay, it's all about your experience, the resume that you have, and the skill sets that you have. Like there are people who are in the market. for by market I mean in the industry for a very long time. By a long time, let's say for 1 to 2 years in the industry, but they struggle to write code by themselves. Okay, and there are people in the industry who is having a, like let's say for 1 year of experience, and they have the ability to write 70%, 50 to 70% of the code by themselves. Okay, this code works for me. Which one? Okay, he must be writing it. So it's like, can you go through it? See, as you can see that it is not visible over here. What you can do is like you can send me in Discord or Insta. I think Insta also doesn't allows you to send a long message. You can send me it in Discord. Send me the file in Discord, or you can share it with me on LinkedIn. Okay, both works. Now see the this wage thing, low wages seems skill set. It matters to some extent, but remember one thing. Like what I felt is that since I was a 2024 pass out. Okay, okay, okay. See now, since I was a 2024 pass out, now I felt that the 2024 batch was not up to the mark. I mean, the jobs of the 2024 batch was not up to the mark. Different people may have different opinion on that. Okay, don't you think below 20? That's what I was telling you now. It depends. This is what depends. Okay, this number is what depends. Raj, what are you doing by the way now? In which stack? The tech stack. I'm not hearing from pieces. I'm not hearing, man. Tech stack, Python, SQL, Azure, GCP, Databricks, Snowflake. Databricks, Python, GCP, SQL, Azure, Snowflake. That means you are working on a data engineering stack, right? Yeah, I'm getting it. Like you are trying to tell me that how many pairs are there that is satisfying, right? This is similar to what I explained now. This is the thing that I explained, right? I think this is it. Value of A, comma count of A. LM SaaS apps, advertising applications. भाई सैलरी का बात हो रहा था भाई, तुम आ गए भाई। ये देखो ऋषभ, ये देखो, इसका बताओ तुम, इस क्वेश्चन का आंसर दो। It's someone else's but well written. I was wondering if you can go through it and understand it. Yeah, I understood. It's like he's counting the number of ones, counting the number of minus ones, and he's having the frequency of A and frequency of B separately placed. And then for every value and count of A and value and count of B, he's going to find the sum, and he's having a frequency of sum. Okay, so he's having the value for Z's. For all the specific Z's that he's going to have, is putting whichever is minimum. 10 LP ड्रीम है? अच्छा, उसको ड्रीम नहीं कहते, उसको नाइटमेयर कहते तुम्हारे लिए, तेरे लिए नाइटमेयर। The sum of frequency of sum plus is equal to minimum count of A, count of B. So that is what I was explaining you. That is whichever मजाक उड़ा रहा है. So it is like you have to find out the differences, right? Oh, not this one, not this one. So yeah, that is what, like, whichever is minimum. As I was telling that if there are 3 x's and 2 z minus x, so you're going to pair only 2 of them. So that is the reason he is using minimum. And then result is equal to sum greater than equal to max result, sum of frequency. So that is basically the maximum of all of them. Okay, this is a kind of ternary operation that he is using. And check if the condition is satisfied. Yeah, if result is greater than equal to n minus count, that is removing all the minus ones, I am done with it. Are you talking about this guy, Rishabh? No, see. स्टार्ट तो सही है, 10 LPA रोल ज्यादा इंपॉर्टेंट है ना, 10 LPA तो छोड़ के आया था। अच्छा हाँ, राइट, वो भी मैं समझा रहा था इसको कि डिपेंड करता भाई इसका, ये है इसलिए बोल रहे हैं। Check if the condition is satisfied. So result is greater than equal to n minus count. Yes, otherwise no. Okay. कौन कमा रहे हैं भाई? कैसे कमाते हैं? लेट्स सी भाई, चलो लेट्स सी। हैशटैग नहीं होता तो शायद आज इधर नहीं होता मैं। बात तो सही है भाई, बात तो सही है। ऐसे ही बेटर होता है भाई, कम लोग होते हैं ना स्ट्रीम में, मतलब चिल ऐसे स्ट्रीम हो सकता है वैसे। एफिलिएट मार्क, मेरे पास टाइम नहीं है, तू मैं जाऊँ लिंक डिस्कॉर्ड पे सेंड कर रहा हूँ, उसमें से 1 महीना एनरोल हो जाऊँ। बहुत जबरदस्त, क्या चीज़ है, शेयर कर देना, चेक कर लूंगा, मेरे पैसे छापूंगा। कंटेंट राइटिंग, सोशल मीडिया, देखो दीज थिंग्स ना, दिस गूगल एडसेंस नहीं होगा तभी से। गूगल एडसेंस इज भाई बेकार, मैं तो बोलूंगा, क्योंकि सबको थोड़ी मिलता है, इससे पैसा सबको थोड़ी मिलता है। गूगल एडसेंस भी हटा दो यार, मैं बता रहा हूँ यूट्यूब का, यूट्यूब अर्निंग, या सब सिखा रहा है उसमें, और वो भी मिलियनर्स। सी, if you want to sell something and if you want to see the buyers buy it, sell your lifestyle. Okay, and this is what these people are doing. Okay, this is what these people are doing. जब उनकी गाइड को फॉलो करता है वो कमाता है। सही है। म्यूचुअल फंड्स, अरे यार क्या कर दिया मैंने, ये नहीं करना था। ब्लॉक ब्लॉक ब्लॉक। आप तो रिच हो गए 2.2। कौन बोल रहा है भाई रिच? यूट्यूब अर्निंग इन इंडिया दिखाता हूँ मैं, ठीक है। और 2.2 के ना, चलो 2.5 के सब्स, ठीक है। अब एहसास हो गया। देखो जेमिनाई क्या पता, चेक करता हूँ। मतलब मुझे मिलता होगा बहुत पैसे। अच्छा, देखो मुझे मिलता होगा, ये तो नहीं मिलता है, ठीक है। फर्स्ट ऑफ ऑल मैं बता दे रहा हूँ, ये नहीं मिलता। 800 और 1000 व्यूज, और अभी मेरा 4 वॉचिंग है। अच्छा इधर दिखता है ना, अभी मेरा 4 वॉचिंग है। मतलब 1000 तो हटाओ यार, हार्डली 100 व्यूज आएगा इसमें, हार्डली। और अभी जस्ट बिकॉज मैं कॉन्सिस्टेंट नहीं हूँ तो 50, तो दिन का 50। अब देखो 1000 में से तुम 50, तो कितना परसेंट होता है वो? 50/1000 into 100, वो बन गया 5%। तो 800 का 5% कितना होता है? 40। अगर तुम दिन का 40 रुपीज कमा रहे हो, छी, ऐसा तो नहीं है कि हर दिन तो मैं वीडियो पे लाइव स्ट्रीम नहीं करता। तो अगर मैं बता रहा हूँ तुमको, मैं प्रॉपर अमाउंट बता रहा हूँ तुमको, इट्स लाइक तुम हर दिन का एवरेज में ना 30 कमाते हो, 30 रुपीज, ठीक है। अगर तुम प्रॉपर स्ट्रीम कर लो, प्रॉपर कॉन्सिस्टेंट हो तो 2.5 के सब्सक्राइबर्स को बता रहा हूँ। तो मंथ का कितना होता है भाई? 900 रुपीज, ऐसा ही होता है भाई। और अगर सेम थिंग, ठीक है चलो सेम थिंग, बिस्किट हो जाएगा भाई चाय के साथ, तो चाय क्यों। अब देखो, अगर मैं सेम थिंग, अरे हाउ टू अर्न यूट्यूब अर्निंग इन यूएस, ठीक है। चाय सॉर्टेड है। अब देखो इसका, देखो $18 फॉर एवरी 1000 व्यूज, तो 50 व्यूज का कितना हुआ? 5%, 5% ऑफ 18, 5% ऑफ 18 कितना होता है? 0.9, मतलब $0.9। अबे डॉलर्स में कमाता हूँ भाई, $1 महीने का। अब $0.9 इन रुपीज, चलो $0.9 इन रुपीज कितना होता है? देखो ये है मेरा, ये मेरा हो सकता था, ये चीज मेरा हो सकता था अगर मैं यूएस में रहता तो, ठीक है। ये तो मतलब नॉमिनल है, क्योंकि यूएस में इतना रेट गिरता नहीं है, मैं तो सबसे एकदम लोएस्ट रेट पे देख रहा हूँ। ये मेरा हो सकता था अगर मैं यूएस में रहता, मतलब 100 रुपीज पर डे, ठीक है। और वन मोर थिंग, यूएस पे लोग कोडिंग वाले देखते हैं चैनल्स, ठीक है। सीपी का वो है, वो मार्केट यूएस में, यूएस चाइना इधर लोग चलता है मार्केट, इंडिया में उतना नहीं देखता भाई कोई। तो मतलब दिन का 100 रुपीज पर डे अगर मैं कमा रहा हूँ, तो अगर मैं यूएस में प्रॉपर देता तो मैं दिन का 200 इंटू 30, 6000। तो अगर मेरा 6000 मेरा पैसिव इनकम है, ठीक है। 100 में चाय भी नहीं आती। यूएस का बात कर रहा हूँ ना, मैं समझ रहा हूँ। मैं बता रहा हूँ ये मेरा पैसिव इनकम है, ठीक है, ये मेरा मेन इनकम नहीं है। अब तुम यूएस का बात इसलिए कर रहे हो ना, देखो अभी बहुत लोग ये बोलते हैं कि भाई तुम हिंदी में स्ट्रीम क्यों नहीं करता, इंग्लिश में क्यों करते हो, ठीक है। अब द थिंग इज कि मेरा जो व्यूअर्स है ना, तुमको अगर मैं एनालिटिक्स दिखाऊंगा ना, इनिशियली मैंने शुरू किया था इंग्लिश में, और मेरा व्यूअर्स भी ना इंडिया से बहुत कम था इनिशियली। बट स्लोली मैंने एक चीज देखा, नोटिस किया कि जितना मैंने वीडियोस बनाते गया, एंड ऑफ द डे मेरा इंडियन व्यूअरशिप बढ़ गया, ठीक है। तो अभी द थिंग दैट आई एम गेटिंग कंफर्टेबल टू स्ट्रीम ऑन हिंदी, इट्स बेटर। लाइक अर्लियर ऐसा भी होता था, तुम डिस्कॉर्ड में बहुत पहले वाले टेक्स्ट चेक करोगे तो देखोगे कि इट यूज्ड टू हैपन कि सोचो कुछ लोग, कुछ ग्रुप ऑफ लोग ऐसे हिंदी में बात कर रहे हैं, तो अचानक से कोई आके बोल रहा है, भाई ब्रो व्हाट इज दिस, आई डोंट अंडरस्टैंड दिस लैंग्वेज, कैन यू टॉक इन इंग्लिश, ऐसा होता था, ठीक है। तो यही है यार। अबे यार 8-9 बजने वाले हैं, स्ट्रीम बंद करने वाला था मैं। ठीक है यार, चलो बाय, चलो गुड नाइट। अरे बंद कैसे करते हैं, मुझे एंड ब्रॉडकास्ट